Hello and welcome to the Money Management revision session. In these videos, I'm going to go through exam papers and make sure that you can answer the questions and also how to do the questions. First thing you have to remember about this unit is that when you go to the exam, you'd be given a data sheet, which this comes with. You have to bring along a calculator, protractor, and a ruler, and also please make sure you bring a black pen. Now the exam is out of 40, so there's 40 marks for you. We're looking at the June 2012 paper. Every exam paper comes with a data sheet. Now this here is what we call a data sheet, so all your questions are based around this data and this data. So all the questions will give you the page number and also the heading of what we're actually looking at. Let's start the exam paper. Okay, so we turn to the first page and it says, make sure you read the questions. Section A, answer all questions in the spaces provided. Use Rosie's Sweet Shop on page 2 of the data sheet. Now this is the data sheet, so I've just put it here so we can access it. And it says page 2, that's your page 2, and it says Rosie's Sweet Shop. So for this section, I'm going to be using this part of the data sheet. Now, remember with the exam paper, make sure you write your answers within this box here. Anything out of this box will not be seen by the examiner. And first thing we do when we answer a question, obviously we read it and make sure you look at the marks awarded first. So this is 3 marks, yeah? So you know there's going to be a mark for the right answer and there's going to be 2 marks for the working out, which we're going to do in these spaces provided. Okay, let's start the first question. As I said, it's very important to read the question. It's saying, Jason buys 2 chocolate bars which are priced at $2.90 and $1.60. Calculate the total amount that Jason is charged for the 2 chocolate bars. Now for this question I have to look at the data sheet. So the first one I'm going to look at, this is about chocolate boxes, chocolate bunnies, pick and mix, chocolate bars. This is the data I'm going to be looking at. And this says buy one and get the other one for half price, and the second bar must be of equal or lesser value. So now I relate that to this question here. Okay, so he's bought a chocolate bar for $2.90. Let's write that down. So £2.90. Okay, and he's bought another bar at $1.60. Now looking at our data for the chocolate bars, it says the second one, which has to be less price or the same price as the first one, is at half price. So what I have to do, I have to do £1.60 divided by 2. I'm dividing by 2 because it's half price. So I'm just going to type this into my calculator, £1.60 divided by 2 because it's half price, and that gives me 0.8, which I know is 80p. Now because this is 80p, I add this onto here, so it's 0.8, which is 80p, and I add these values together, tap it on my calculator, £2.90, and that gives me £3.70. And I will put this into my answer here, £3.70. Now looking at this question, there are 3 marks awarded. 1 is for finding out the half price, which is this one here, finding out half price. The second one is adding them together, and the third one is actually your answer. So for this question we have actually got 3 marks, 1, 2 and 3. Let's go on to our second question. Question 1b, which is this one here. It says Tilly buys a pack of chocolate bunnies. The usual price of the chocolate bunnies is £8.49. How much does Tilly pay? Again, I look at my data sheet. Okay, which one do I look at? This is about chocolate bunnies, so this is what I'm going to be looking at. and the data is telling me chocolate bunnies is a third off all of them. So what I want you to do is to attempt the question. So at this point, please pause the video, and then when you finish, I will go through the solution with you. Okay, let's have a look at the solution in front of you. Now remember, it's a third off the original price. So the usual price of the chocolate bunny is £8.49. It's a third off. Remember, in maths, when you say of something means multiply. So it's a third. 1 divided by 3 times 8.49, which equals £2.83. So that is the third off. So we get the original price, which is £8.49. We subtract it from the third off, which is £2.83, and the answer is 5.66. So it's £5.66. Again, 3 marks. Don't forget the 3 marks. So 1 mark for finding a third, 2nd mark for calculating the price, and the 3rd mark for the actual answer. Hope you got that correct. Let's go on to the next question. The next question is asking us, Annie buys 450 grams of pick and mix sweets. How much does she pay? Now we look at the pick and mix here. Okay, now attempt the question, pause, and then I will go through it with you. Let's have a look at the answer. Now, going here, we can realise that she's buying 450 grams. So the 450 gram goes here, and the data is telling us that 50 gram is for 28p. So that is over 50, because that's where we get the 50 from. And if you divide 450 by 50, you get 9. Okay, so this time what we're going to use 9 times 28p. That's where we get the 28p, and the answer is 252p. Remember, I'm working in pennies. I haven't converted that into pounds. So if I was to convert that into pounds, this will give me the answer of, that's right, £2.52. Oops, yeah, 52, yeah. So the answer I've originally given you is in pennies, but if you want to convert it into pounds and pence, all you do is divide it by 100, 1, 2, that's where a decimal point goes, so you get £2.52. Hope you got the right answer. So let's look at our marking. How are we going to mark this? So again, 3 marks here. So you get 1 mark for finding out 450 divided by 50, then timesing it by 28, and the last mark is your answer. Please make sure that you show your working out, because that's how the actual exam paper will be marked. So I've showed the examiner all my working out, and there I get my 3 marks. Let's look at question 2a. Once again, read the question, please. It says a box contains 30 chocolates. Barry eats 2/5 of them. Right, okay, so please, once again, attempt to do it and then look at the answer. Right, hope you got the right answer. The answer is 12. Please remember there's 2 marks for this. Okay, so it's saying a box contains 30 chocolates, so that's my 30 chocolates. And Barry eats 2/5, so that's times 2/5. Okay, so we tap this into our calculator. That'll be 30 times 2 divided by 5. That gives you the answer 12. So he's actually eaten 12 of them. And there's my answer. Again, how do we mark it? You should know this by now. 2 marks, 1 for the working out, 1 for my answer. That's my 2 marks. Right, the next question is one of our ratio questions. This is what most of you struggle with, but there's nothing to be afraid of with ratios. So let's read the question. It says, Jane, Kevin, Tony share 80 chocolates. They share these chocolates in the ratio 2, 5 and 1, with Kevin having the most. Now when you see ratios like this, it's in the order that they've given you. So Jane will have 2, Kevin has 5 and Tony has 1. Right, okay, it's your turn now. Press pause, please. Okay, let's have a look at the question. Okay, now when you get these ratio questions, it's always good just to jot this down. So it's the ratio 2 to 5 to 1. Now I know that Jane has 2, Kevin has 5, and Tony has 1. So just put the initials there just to remind you. Now, whenever you get a ratio question and you see this here with the colons, the first thing you have to do for that 1 mark is to add these up to find out the number of parts. So it's 2 plus 5 plus 1, which is giving you 8 parts. Okay, so that is my first tick because I've added them up. Okay, right. The second part is it is saying how many chocolates does Kevin eat. Now we look at Kevin's ratio, which is 5. So out of the total parts of 8, Kevin has eaten 5. So that's 5 over 8. 5 is Kevin's, we've got it from here, and I've got 8 because I've added the ratio up and it totals to 8 parts. So it's 5 over 8 times 80 because that's what they share. They share 80 chocolates. Tap this into your calculator. 5 divided by 8 times 80 gives you the answer of 50. So that's your first mark. Second mark is actually working this out here. And the third one is your answer. That's your 3 marks. Next question, question 3. Now this is a little bit complex, so let's read it. Hannah works in a sweet shop. She buys an Easter hamper which usually costs £24.80p. She's given a staff discount of 12%. Okay, how much does she pay for the Easter hamper? Right, please press pause. Let's go through the answer. Okay, so I read the question. So it's saying she buys the Easter hamper for £24.80 and she's given a staff discount of 12%. Now remember, 12% means 12 out of 100. 12 out of 100. So I've got my price here, £24.80p, and to find out 12%, I times it by 12 over 100. I tap this into my calculator and I get 2.976. Now, what I'm going to do here, I'm going to round it off, okay, to 2 decimal places. Okay, so I round it off here, put a line there, because this number after the line is over 5, I increase this by 1. So that'll be £2.98p. Now, that is one of my calculations. Now I know that the with 12% discount of her original price, £2.98 is taken off. So I get the original price and I minus, put the minus sign in, I minus the 12% off, which is this one. I tap this into my calculator, £24.80, take away £2.98, and I get £21.82. That's my answer. Okay, again, how do we mark it? Okay, 1 mark for this, finding out 12%, the other one for taking 12% away from the original price, and the 3rd mark for my right answer. Question number 4 now, nearly halfway through the paper. Let's have a read. It says one of Hannah's customers spends £11.72. She gives Hannah a £20 note. How much change is she given? Right, okay. Pause the question and let's go through it later on. Okay, answer time. So reading the question. So Hannah's customer spends £11 and she gives her £20. How much change does she get? Okay, simple question. So that is a £20 she gives her, and she has spent £11.72. So we need to take it away, and that gives you, just tap this into your calculator, £20 take away £11.72 gives you £8.28. Now it's asking for how much change is she given. Okay, so obviously you're going to give her the least amount of change. So here, oh, I've done the wrong question here. Oh, sorry, this question is actually this one down here. Okay, no problem with that. I've already done that one. Right, okay, looking at this question. So the answer here is £8.28p. Okay, now this question here actually goes down here. It says, Hannah gives the customer her change using the smallest possible number of notes and coins. What note and coin does Hannah give her? Okay, so here you put the notes down. Obviously, I've got the answer here, if you can have a look. So this is the answer here. Please don't do this in your exam. I think I overdid it. Okay, so what you'd put down in here, how many notes, you give her a £5 note. The coins, you'll give her £2 coins, £1 coin, 20p, 5p, a 2p and a 1p. Okay, so that's for 2 marks. Okay, you get these 4 actually, the working out of here and the answer. And for this one, 1 mark is just for putting down the change that she'll be given. Now we're on section B of our exam paper, and this time we have to use the DVD on page 3 of the datasheet. So this is the datasheet here. Now page 3 here, and this is the DVD. So this is the data we need to look at when we are answering these questions. Now it says complete the spreadsheet. So it's a spreadsheet question. Give the cost per disc to 1 decimal place. Right, okay, have a go at the question. Yep, there's 4 marks. This is the space for working out, please. Make sure you use this. Okay, press pause, please, and do the question. Okay, let's have a look at the first section. There's the answers. Right, it's saying cost of the pack per pence. So we look at our data sheet on page 3, this one, and all we're doing, it's saying the single number of discs is 1. What is the cost per pence? So we just look here, the single pack containing 1 disc costing 85p. Now remember, the answer has to be in pence, so it's 85 pence. Okay, now the next one is the small at 10 discs per pack. So here the small at 10 discs per pack is £4.49. Now remember, we want this in pence. We know that we have 100p equals £1. Okay, so all we're doing, we're just dividing this by 100. So £4.49 divided by 100. Sorry, not divided by 100. Times. What am I doing? Sorry about that, guys. It's 400. 4 point. I bet you all noticed that mistake. Okay, anyway, so it's so all you're doing is you are doing £4.49 times 100. Times it by 100, you get 449 pence. Okay, and you do the same with the rest. Okay, because this is £10.49. Putting £10.49 into pence will be 1,049. And the other one, £33, putting that into pence, you're just timesing it by 100. So that's how you get this figure here. Okay, let's look at the next one now. This one is saying I have to find the cost per disc, and remember, it's in pence. Okay, now what you have to do to this, remember our formula that I told you in the lessons, where we have our price over the quantity. Okay, so let's do the first one. The first one is 85. So it's 85 over the quantity, which is 1. So that will equal 85p. Remember, the answer is supposed to be in pence. The next one will be, let's just rub that out. So the next one, using the same formula that we have, price over quantity, is, remember, you put this in pence. So we've got 449 pence over the quantity, which is 10. Okay, and that will give you how much? Put that in your calculator. 449 divided by 10 equals £44.9p. Yeah, and remember, this is in 1 decimal place. Don't forget the 1 decimal place. So that's 1 decimal place, which is fine. So this one here will be 44.90. Remember, it's in pence, so we just put the 0 there. Okay, remember this one was 85p. Okay, now the next one is a little bit more tricky. Okay, look at the answers for the other one. Now this one here, let's have a look at this one. The 1049 divided by 25, you will get, let's do that, 1049 divided by 25. The calculator actually gives you £41.96. Now remember, it's one decimal place, so you would have to round it off and it becomes 42. The same for this one as well. Okay, it comes to 33.20p, and just make sure you just put the 20p in as well, like this. So that's the answer to this question. Remember the formula that we always say, price over quantity gives you that. Okay, the next question, 5b, this one here, it's saying which of the 4 packs is the best value for money. 1 mark, you just look across this, and of course the one with the lowest, so it's this one here, the large pack, because 1 disc cost me 33p, so this one is the best value for money. So all you write in this one is that you put large. Okay, the large pack, that's that. The next question, 5c, why would a person not necessarily buy this size of pack? Okay, so they're telling us that the large one is the best value for money. Why won't anybody buy that? Okay, and usually the same answer for this is because they don't need too many discs, so they don't need all the discs. Okay, and the cost is too much. Okay, so that's the answer to those. Right, let's look at the next question here. The next question says 100 single packs cost £85. A large pack of 100 discs cost £33.15. So the large, there, we've got the information from here, yeah? Now it's saying express the cost of the large pack as a percentage. Remember, percentage out of 100 of the cost of the 116 single packs. So have a go, and then let's go through it together. Okay, then let's look at the question. So express the cost of the large pack as a percentage of the 100 single one. So the large pack is £33.15, so put £33.15 out of the cost of the single packs, which is £85, and then we times it by 100. Why? Because we're finding the percentage, which equals 39. Just tap that in your calculator, and the answer is 39%. Hope you all got that right. Right, the next question is number 6, and this one we're changing from our DVDs. It says, in France, a hypermarket is selling a pack of discs for €45. The exchange rate is €1.24 to £1. Calculate the cost of this in pounds. So we are looking at, oh, there's no table to look up, that's fine. Right, attempt this question and then let's go through it together. Okay, let's go back to this. Now remember what we said in class was when you get this exchange rate to £1, okay, when from the euros to the pound is smaller, isn't it? So from here to here we go smaller, so we divide, and from exchanging from £1 to the euro it would get bigger, so therefore we times. So in this question we want the answer in pounds, so we are converting from our euros to our pounds, so we are doing the divide. So it's €45 divided by the exchange rate, which equals £36.29, and also remember to put your pound sign in. There you go. Okay, let's look at the next question. It's section C, and this time we're going to use a bus timetable on page 3 of the data sheet. So this is what we're going to be looking at. It says Sadiq is travelling from Woking and wants to go to Guildford. He catches the bus that departs Woking at 11:39. Calculate the length of the journey. So you have to look at this timetable. Have a go. Okay, let's have a look at the question. So he leaves the Woking at, this is 11:39. I know this because that's 10. It's going all the way there. That's 10:58, 11:18, etc. So that's 11:39. And he reaches his destination at this time here. So if that 11:39, that has to be 11:58, and that'll be 12:10. So this is where I've got this. So you have to find out the time taken between 11:39 to 12:10. So from 11:39 to 12 o'clock, it's 21 minutes. And from 12 o'clock to 10 past 12, it's 10 minutes. So we just add them up together, and this is our answer. Okay, let's look at our third question. It says, this is section D, answer all the questions on the spaces provided, and here. And it says use the bank accounts on page 3 of the data sheet. So this is what we are going to be looking at. So have a go and then come back. Okay, let's have a look at this now. Now we use this table here, and it says the compound interest rate of 2.92. So the one we're looking at is the basic saver. So we're looking at the basic saver. So this is the one we want to look at. And it's 0.92% paid every 3 months. Now remember, percent means out of 100, yeah? So what we do, we get the original amount, which is this one here, the starting value, timesing it by 0.92%. So put 0.92 from here, and it's percent, so it's over 100. We tap this into the calculator and we get £11.50. There's £11.50. Now this is the interest they've gained. Now we have to add this interest onto the original, which is 1,250. So 1,250 plus the interest, and that comes to 1,261.50p. So that is the way we do it. So we do the same principle, follow the same principle, but for the different figures. Okay, this is the final answer. Make sure that your answers match this. We've used the same procedure. All you have to do, the value you've got here, you carry it onto here and then start working it out. So the value I got here, I started it off here and then calculated 0.92%. So this is the answer here. Okay, now we're on our last question, question number 9. Now this is quite a wordy question, so make sure that you read it, please, yeah? The key word is that it's saying using approximations, estimate, so you don't have to have the exact amount. So for an example, approximation, this one would probably be 21 grand rather than 20,947 grand. So that's what we mean by approximation. And 52 weeks in a year, approximately 50 weeks in a year. So that's what they mean by approximation and estimate. Have a go. Okay, let's have a look at the answer. As I said, it's an approximation. So what I've done here, I've approximated this to 21,000. Okay, and to make division easier, by 50 weeks rather than 52 weeks. And you just divide 21 over 50 and you get the approximate, this is an estimate of £420. So that's the answer here. Okay, and I think that's the end of our question paper. So please make sure that you've counted it properly and give yourself a mark out of 40 and calculate the percentage. I hope you've done well on it. Thank you.